This module is on multi-sector alliances. The objective of this module is to understand the role of a multi-sector alliance in designing, implementing, monitoring, and evaluating the country's flower fortification program. It is recommended that all countries form a multi-sector alliance, to use a rather generic term, as the foundation for the fortification program. This alliance is composed of stakeholders, which essentially refers to those people who either play a role in making the program happen or who have an interest in the realization of the public health impact created by fortification. Around the world, this multi-sector alliance is called a variety of different names: National Fortification Alliance, Fortification Working Group, Fortification Task Force, and Fortification Committee, to name a few. In this course, we will use the term multi-sector alliance to describe this group. Think for a moment about the types of entities in your country that should be included in the multi-sector alliance. These are some of the groups that typically participate in a multi-sector alliance for fortification: government ministries, milling and baking associations and companies, research institutions, relevant civic organizations, consumer associations, United Nations agencies, and bilateral aid organizations. Of course, this is not a complete list of potential alliance members. Each country should think broadly and strategically when forming the alliance. The multi-sector alliance plays an essential role in instituting the flower fortification program, and as part of that process, plans for fortification monitoring as well. Here you can see the Food Fortification National Committee of the Solomon Islands. Together, the members of the committee have completed the following activities: identified monitoring training needs for millers and inspectors, and recruited trainers; ushered legislation and standards documents through passage by Parliament; and reviewed the proposed monitoring plan and the accompanying manuals for internal, external, and import monitoring. I will now present some of the topics that multi-sector alliance members discuss and the types of activities they will engage in during the various stages of a fortification program. During the initial planning stage, for example, the multi-sector alliance will discuss issues such as the technical feasibility of fortification. They will also work to ensure that fortification monitoring activities are fully integrated into existing food safety monitoring plans. During the implementation stage, which is continuous, the Alliance will relay critical messages that need to be communicated regarding the fortification program, such as informing importers and new mills about the fortification requirements. They will also hold refresher training sessions for millers and inspectors as needed. During the monitoring stage, which is also continuous, the Alliance will advocate for the allocation of resources for monitoring by government authorities. The members will also review monitoring results and decide what adjustments need to be made to strengthen the program. The evaluation stage is periodic. The Alliance will review the types of ongoing surveys that the country participates in, such as living standards and measurement surveys, and will add fortification-specific questions to these surveys. They will also use the results to adjust the program if needed. Please note that in this course, we will not discuss the evaluation functions of the Alliance. However, the World Health Organization and FAO's 2006 book on fortification guidelines has a chapter dedicated to this topic. This book is in the resources section of this course should you want to read more about program evaluation. Whenever possible, high-level stakeholders, such as government ministers, should be part of the Alliance. These individuals can build support for monitoring activities, can authorize funding streams, and can easily publicize the program's progress, which in turn gains more momentum for fortification. The Alliance may be formed specifically for the flower fortification program, or it may be incorporated into a larger health, nutrition, or fortification coalition. For example, if the country already has a salt iodization program and a multi-sector group to oversee that initiative, It may be useful for the Flower Fortification Alliance to join forces with it. During the planning phase and the early years of implementing the program, the Multi-Sector Alliance will meet regularly. A strong flower fortification program reaches a high proportion of the target population with flower that adheres to the country's fortification standard. When monitoring activities indicate that your program has reached this dual goal of high coverage and high compliance, the Multi-Sector Alliance will meet less frequently. Once every 6 months will likely be sufficient. In the next module, I'll guide you through the process of planning for fortification monitoring.